I'm so happy to be back. Wild Nights listeners, your favorite person is here. Howard Hendricks Powell on Wild Nights with Rocky. Yes, every Monday.
I think you are a lot of people's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. I'm so excited to be here. Everybody's favorite guest. Probably the most, frequent guest on your podcast.
You're definitely the most frequent guest.
Yeah.
I've only ever had other people on twice if they've been a repeat guest. I think this is like your fourth or fifth time.
Probably sixth or seventh. Let's round up.
Well, we'll see. Maybe the last. Who
Hopefully.
knows?
Hopefully. Hopefully this is so good that by the end of it, we're just energy. Like, we totally evaporate and disappear.
That would be sick. A lot of the times when you come on, we're just riffing. We're just having, a good time chatting about life and things.
Sure.
But there have been some topics that I specifically want to talk to you about that I've been avoiding going in depth talking to you about in person.
Okay, yeah. What are they?
The first one is the Mike Tyson fight.
Okay. So you've been avoiding talking to me about it in person because you wanted to save it for the pod?
I was trying to save the juice for the pod.
Okay, the juice.
I was trying to save the juice for the pod. The Mike Tyson fight was crazy. And I feel like even by the time this comes out, people are going to be like, we're not talking about that anymore.
Definitely yesterday's news.
It's yesterday's news, but are we rushing the news?
Are we rushing the news?
As a society, are we really not sitting and letting things marinate? This fight was crazy, and we just talk about it for 2 days, and now it's like, oh, it's over.
People got lives to live, Rocky. They can't be lingering on a Netflix event.
I know.
Unless it's Bird Box. Bring back Bird Box.
But Bird Box came out during the pandemic, so I feel like people were really
Ooh, 5 minutes into the podcast bringing up the pandemic.
Sorry, plandemic. Joking. No, it was planned, wasn't it?
What?
Wasn't it planned? Didn't it get released from a lab? Isn't that what they came out with later? But by the time we found out...
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, we're going to talk about...
It's like you'll say anything for engagement.
Well, you have to now, because the people are on me.
People died. People are dying, kid.
People died. Is it bad to do an inside joke?
On a public platform?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Should we explain the Dorit joke?
If you feel like it's necessary.
You don't feel like it's necessary to
I feel
tell
like
people
now
why
it is 100% necessary because you have, brought it up.
So, there's a show called Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Perhaps you've heard of it. And there's a character called Dorit. Dorit is my favorite, but people don't like her. I think people don't like Dorit because her accent changes, and I'm like, why does that bother you? We are creatures of imitation. I think that's a stupid reason not to like Dorit.
Yeah.
She has a charity called Homeless Not Toothless. That's a reason to dislike her, the charity's name. It's like, just give the people homes, you could.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about, we worry about the teeth later.
I just think any charity is good.
Any charity is good, but it's missing the mark to me, but I still love Dorit. Okay, Dorit, if you're watching, I love Dorit. But Dorit was robbed at gunpoint, which was awful. It was an awful storyline because you're like, this woman was home alone with her 2 children. But then she was in couples counseling with her ex-husband, who is the manager of, who's the guy? Do you really want to hurt me?
Wait, keep singing, I'll get it.
Do you really want to make me cry?
Keep singing.
Do you really want to hurt me?
Oh, I almost have it.
Do you really want to? I don't know if there's...
No, keep going.
No, because there could be licensing things where
I don't know if any algorithm would take that as the actual song.
This could go viral. Boy George is who that sings that with his band. And Dorit's ex-husband was Boy George's manager. Okay, are we following? So anyways, Dorit got robbed at gunpoint, and then when her and her husband Paul were in couples therapy, she was talking about how she wants to homeschool her children. And he said...
Dorit, the kids are going to school.
Dorit, the kids are going to school.
Yeah.
So now we always say that for everything.
Yeah, because it was how matter-of-fact he was. He was very upfront.
Yeah.
It was non-negotiable. This is what they're doing.
Dorit, the kids are going to school.
And I feel like, very similar to Dorit, you have ideas that are out there that need to be grounded, that might miss the mark a little bit, but be good intentioned. And that's usually why we say that.
I disagree about that. I think my ideas are bold.
Dorit, you do.
I think my ideas are bold.
Dorit, your ideas suck.
My ideas suck?
They don't suck. They're great ideas. They're the best ideas.
Okay.
You have some of the best ideas I've ever heard.
Now I feel like you're being sarcastic.
I'm just saying, this is a quote from you literally 4 minutes ago was plandemic.
Okay. I didn't make up that word.
Okay.
And I didn't say the pandemic was planned. I think other people said that, and I just was like, was it? Because I didn't pay attention because it was yesterday's news.
I'm not having this podcast be what ruins me.
No, I didn't say it was a pandemic. I just said people say it's a pandemic, but that's not. But we are.
Your good friends? Your close friends?
No, don't throw them under the bus.
Who?
Just the internet.
Name names.
I can't. Dorit, I'm not naming names.
Okay.
Dorit, I'm not naming names. It was all over the internet, though.
I think it should be said, I have nothing against homeschooling. Nothing against homeschooling.
No.
You know, honestly, I think it is good. And I've had the privilege of working with some homeschooled kids.
Yeah.
And honestly, their social maturity is a lot higher.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think it's probably because they're socialized with adults.
Interesting. Yeah. I know 2 people off the top of my head that were homeschooled, and they are really kind, nice people.
Good, cool.
Yeah.
Well, they're just people. I feel like we're putting homeschool in a category.
No, I'm really putting these people in a
higher category.
Yeah, I'm putting them in they're gentler people, they're kinder people. You don't find them to be super aggressive.
Well, the whole the schooling system, going through the public school system. Shout out to public schoolers. Sorry about it. Sorry. That school system. I mean, it puts some scars on your knuckles for sure.
Yeah, sometimes literally.
Sometimes literally. Yeah, literally. I saw a lot of fights in my high school. There was quite a lot of high school fights, which is one thing to see, but then for my algorithm to just also keep feeding me them. Like when I was in high school, I was like, I'll probably never see this again.
Yeah.
And now I can't open X or anything without seeing a bunch of people fighting in a cafeteria. I was like, I thought I left this behind.
Oh, so you look for cafeteria fights?
No,
that's your algorithm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's my algorithm. This is the content curated based on my engagement.
Gotcha.
But I'm not saying I'm seeking it out. This is just what an algorithm sees fit for me. And to some degree, it's right because I do watch.
I can't say that I've ever watched a cafeteria fight on the internet. It's never been in my algorithm.
Oh, did you want a medal?
No. I'm just saying our algorithms are different.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly feel like my algorithm is missing the mark a little bit. And it's changing me into a person I don't want to be. Yeah, really. It is.
In what way?
It's making me too fit.
Oh, okay.
It's making me too fit.
You're having trouble going through doorways and stuff?
Oh, like you're saying I'm brolic and broad?
I didn't say that. I was asking.
Broad?
No, I didn't.
No, I'm not having trouble going through doors. I'm just saying it's making me too fit.
Well, right now, you look like a little old lady in a wheelchair rolling her way through a French garden with this blanket that has Harry Potter on it, by the way, on your lap. That's what you look like to me, but also fit. Little old ladies can be fit.
Okay. I'm gonna bite my tongue.
No, don't bite it.
No, I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Don't bite it. Don't bite it. Don't bite it.
Because it will be over. If I start unleashing on you, it will be over.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah.
Bite your tongue, Dorit.
Yeah, I will.
And speaking of fights, we were talking about fights. I don't want to derail off the Mike Tyson fight.
And I'm comfortable. I'm sitting. I'm
you
comfortable.
You look comfortable. You look like your nurse is coming any minute, and you look comfortable.
Okay, first, the conspiracy theories. Second, the dragging of essential workers.
I'm not dragging essential workers.
No, you're dragging essential workers.
You definitely need a nurse in this moment, so I'm not dragging anyone.
Understood.
Okay.
So you wanted to talk about the Mike Tyson fight?
Yes, yeah. I really want to talk about the Mike Tyson fight because I feel like, what was that?
It was a fight.
No, it wasn't. The 2 girls that fought before Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, that was a fight.
Yeah. A lot of blood.
Yeah. And the woman from Puerto Rico who was fighting the woman from Ireland nailed more punches statistically, and she didn't win. And her eyelid was flapping over.
She shouldn't have won because her eyelid was...
No, she should have won because she landed more punches. Like, what was the win based on, if not how many punches you land?
I would assume, technique. And I'm assuming you get points for dodging, too, and,
Okay.
Yeah, but, I mean, it is just, people judging. I mean, It's not, that objective. It's a little more, there's a little room for subjectivity. It's not like a basketball where it's how many points did you earn?
Yeah.
It's people judging the fights, and those punches are being thrown fast. It is kind of hard to be
yeah, but now with technology.
Oh, yeah, I guess they could watch it in slow-mo and then really pick it apart. Kind of like in tennis when they do the challenge on the tennis ball when it's out. I'm sorry, I forgot that you you don't like intelligent sports.
I like tennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Name 5 tennis players. And you can't do the Williams sisters.
Why?
Because I said so.
You?
Yeah, I said you can't do the Williams sisters.
No, I'm naming you. You
no,
play tennis.
I'm not. Name professional tennis players.
Rafael Nadal.
That's good. Retired, though.
He retired yesterday.
Name 5 tennis players that aren't retired, and I don't think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Trevor Noah posted about it yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I saw.
Okay. They have to currently be in the USTA.
No, you keep changing the rules.
5 tennis players that are currently in the USTA, and they're not the Williams sisters.
I don't even know what the USDA is.
United States Tennis Association.
Oh, okay. I thought you said USDA. I was
That's
like, the United
else.
States Dairy Association?
You'd know all about that.
No, I wouldn't. I had a vegan breakfast this morning, actually.
Okay.
I can't name 5 tennis players. Anna Kournikova?
No, that's Hunger Games. You're thinking of the Hunger Games. You're thinking of the cornucopia from the Hunger Games.
Anna Kournikova?
Why are you calling her that?
That's her name.
I don't know her name. I don't even know who you're saying.
She was a tennis player.
Was or is?
I don't know. I only know that Rafael Nadal retired.
Okay.
And I know the Williams sisters. So I don't accept your challenge because I don't know them.
That's okay. You don't have to.
It doesn't mean I don't like watching tennis.
I don't know if I could name 5 tennis players that are currently in the USTA.
I wouldn't make you. Do you think the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight was rigged?
Wow, what a tough question. No, I don't think it was rigged, but I also don't think that those sorts of exhibition fights, or if that's what you call them, are as spontaneous as we might want them to be. Because at the end of the day, it's like who is the most popular, and those are the people that can draw a fight.
Yeah.
And as somebody who thinks about drawing a crowd, right, I think it's just more about who can get butts in seats. And those 2 people got tons of butts in seats. And at the end of the day, that's us winning, getting to see them, perform and fight.
You think we won because of that fight?
I think that, honestly, the fight was a little lackluster. But also, boxing is hard as hell, so I don't even want to call it lackluster. But I think it was a win for us, all of the preamble, all of the press beforehand, all of the buzz generated around the fight, all of the hopes. People thinking who's going to win, who's going to lose, people talking about it, people opening up the conversation of age. I think all of that is a win. But yeah, no, the fight wasn't the most dramatic fight. Seeing as there was no major knockout, you could say that.
The most dramatic part of that fight was the fact that Netflix kept buffering.
Yeah.
The bar I was at had 3 TVs, and it was empty when we got there. Everybody was coming from a show downstairs. So it was empty. We got a great seat. We had the best seat in the house right next to this TV. And the TVs just kept buffering and buffering and buffering. And people were pissed. And because they said the fight started at 8, but their fight didn't really start till midnight, people were drunk. And there's one guy, there was one bartender and a manager, and the place was packed. And this guy was so sloppy drunk that he screamed, and this was the most beta, gross energy thing he could yell. He goes, "Everybody write a Yelp review." And then the bartender, I also think...
About the fight? Or?
About the bar not having good service.
Okay.
So he's everybody's drunk, his shirt is sweaty and stuff, and he's "Everybody write a Yelp review." And then the bartender also may have been a little beta energy too, yelled back. You know when somebody has a comeback but it's kind of awkward?
Dude, do I know? Yeah.
I feel that's what he was trying to come back, and he was "Write a Yelp review, see what happens. Go ahead, do it." And then he kept going, and the whole bar was "This is so uncomfortable." And then the manager, or the owner, I don't know, he very coolly was "Hey man, everyone's Netflix is buffering." He had tinted sunglasses on inside and kind of looked like
Stevie Wonder?
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum. Vibey sunglasses.
He had Goldblum energy.
Okay.
Yeah, not Stevie Wonder energy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I think you're kind of glazing over the puppet show that everyone was coming up from.
The puppet show?
Yeah, you said there was a puppet show in the basement?
No, there was no puppet show. It was
Rocky,
a comedy show.
Come on, Rocky. Come on. You could admit that you were watching a puppet show.
I would admit if I was watching a puppet show. I think puppetry's crazy.
Okay, name 5 puppets. And they cannot be on Sesame Street.
5 puppets that can't be on Sesame Street? Lamb Chop.
Who's that?
You don't know Lamb Chop? This is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. This is the song that...
Boy George?
No. Lamb Chop. Mary, she was Lamb Chop's puppet. The King from Mr. Rogers.
Okay, yeah, I'll accept.
The Frog from Gullah Gullah Island.
Don't know what that is.
Come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. The frog's name was Binya Binya.
Okay.
Allegra from Allegra's Castle.
Don't know what that is.
She was a puppet that had a castle.
Okay.
And she was Allegra. And so I'm one puppet short. Oh, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
That dude would tear you to pieces right now.
So 5 puppets.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm better at puppetry than tennis.
Okay. So you admit there was a puppet show in the basement.
It wasn't a puppet show. But yeah, the bar, everybody, like, it's like buffering and stuff. And then so afterwards, everyone was so pissed because the fight was, you know, like you said, lackluster.
See, I feel uncomfortable even associating my opinion with that fight because those men would be able to beat me in a fight.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say anything negative about their fight. I love that it happened. I think it was interesting. You know what I did, which was a real, speaking of beta stuff, what I thought was a real not beta thing, which I don't even subscribe to that language, but for the
Why don't you subscribe to the beta language?
Because I think it's antiquated. I don't think human beings operate like that.
Oh,
and
they do.
And I also think that in the animal kingdom, people associate alpha wolves and stuff with different animals and hierarchies, and in reality, those hierarchies are usually based off of relatives and stuff like that, not off of like who's the biggest or who's the strongest. So
you think there are not betas walking around out there just...
I think they're just people doing their damn best. You
don't think the guy who yelled, write a Yelp review with Miller High Life all over his sweaty t-shirt isn't a beta?
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for him.
I met him. Beta.
Well, that being said, one of the things that I think was a more interesting quality, I was hosting a comedy show during the Mike Tyson fight, and I pulled that, and I've seen guys do this in the past, and I was like, I'm never that type of guy.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're sitting at the dinner table, they're at a restaurant, and they got the game on their phone, like a football game or something on their phone. And to me, I'm like, that is extraordinarily pathetic. No judgment, do you, right? But it's a fleeting thought that I have when I see that.
Okay.
But during the show, I was like, I'm missing this Mike Tyson fight. And I had it up on my phone, and I was just like sitting there next to me. And honestly, I realized why people do it. Because it's a power trip. It's a total power trip. Oh. Hey, guess what? My mind is somewhere else, and I'm not afraid to show you. You're interesting. Yeah, great conversation. But hold on. I want to see if somebody made a play. Give me a second. It's worse than anything I can imagine.
And sometimes people like that have money on the line.
Yeah.
They have fantasy football teams. I was kicked out of a fantasy football team.
Oh, for what? Sexual misconduct?
Yeah, I was harassing all the men in the league. No, I was kicked out very gently and very kindly, but I was kicked out because I would forget to update you have to update your lineup, and I would forget to update my lineup every week. That. Yeah.
I honestly get
And
that.
my friend was just like, Rocky, love having you in the league. You are not participating. Like, you're not. And I'm like, I know, I keep forgetting to update my lineup. But when I did, some weeks I was good. Do you know what my team name was?
No, what was it?
The Wine Receivers.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's clever. Instead of the wide receiver, the line receiver.
No, the
wine receiver. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, and I would...
Did everyone have a team name?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. In fantasy football, you have, like, a fun name.
Okay, that's fun. Maybe we should start doing fantasy football.
Well, I can't guarantee that I would. First of all, it's too late to do it now. We'd have
Unless we just started really studying up and getting really into it for the next season.
For the next season. I basically picked mine based on looks and if I liked their name.
Okay. And you didn't do well.
No, some weeks I did do well if I updated my lineup.
Wow, that goes to say sex sells.
Sex sells. Sex sells. And maybe, a football player that cares about his appearance and, like, stuff like that. maybe would care more about the game.
Yeah,
like he puts in more effort.
Come on, we gotta get on the field, man. Wait, I haven't finished my eyebrows.
Like peeling off little masks. But one thing I will agree with you about the fight that I liked a lot is that it had this camaraderie, this American camaraderie. I feel like Americans used to have more camaraderie about a big event. Now there's so many things to choose from. There's so many dueling opinions. It's so down the middle. But this was kind of a thing that universally, or not universally, but countrywide, people wanted to see. Now, of course, there's people who are like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And that's their prerogative. But I bet you there was a lot more people that were like, this is crazy interesting.
Something to come together over.
Something to come together. That's not the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like Home Improvement used to be. Home Improvement used to be everybody is waiting for them to move that bus. Everyone in the goddamn neighborhood, everyone is on their couch, 8 p.m. watching ABC, looking at that shanty shithole of a house blocked by a beautiful bus. Oh, I remember that house on the block. Boy, did it suck. When they moved that bus, it's going to be a mansion. They moved the bus, and guess what? The kids' room is literally a racetrack. The attic has a pool table all of a sudden. Yeah, they can't afford that house anymore. They probably immediately had to sell it, but it was American.
I don't remember any of this bus on Home Improvement.
Am I saying the wrong show? What was it called? Where they moved the bus. Move that bus. Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Okay, these are totally different shows.
Yeah, but you got it.
No, I didn't. I thought you were talking about Tim Allen in Home Improvement.
No, I'm talking about Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Do you know Home Improvement, the show?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
With Al.
Yeah.
Wow. No, Extreme Home Makeover, that was a reality show.
Yeah, it was a reality show. Real different type of reality show. Can you imagine Extreme Makeover Home Edition having the same drama as The Real Housewives? Dorit, the bus is staying.
Dorit, we're not moving the bus, Dorit.
Yeah. Why do you drink a glass of chia seeds in the morning?
I don't really know.
Yeah, it looks gross and the water gets all goopy looking.
I like the consistency, number one. Number two, I believe it's healthy, but I forget what the health benefits are. And number three, it just kind of makes me feel like, I'm a gal on the move, having
doing something.
Here's my chia seed water. Yeah. I feel good about it.
I like that. I respect your ritual.
Yeah, it's like a little ritual, but apparently you can't have too many chia seeds.
Or what happens? A chia tree grows in your stomach?
A chia tree grows in your stomach. No, I think it's not good for you. But I don't know. Speaking of growth, have you been paying attention to this aliens in the ocean thing?
Yeah, I've been all over the... What do you mean?
Have?
What do you mean, have I been paying attention? Who hasn't? Who hasn't?
So I've been paying
Again, yesterday's news, Rock. All these things you want to talk about, yesterday's news.
Okay, well then go on a podcast that's talking about today's news. If that's what you want so bad.
Me on NPR. It's Home Improvement.
You on the Daily. They're like, that is Extreme Home Makeover. But the thing, just going back to Home Improvement, that was a reality show on the sitcom. I have tried to bring up the aliens in the ocean thing to several people, and they're like, not paying attention, not giving it the time of day, which makes me feel like, am I paying too much attention to this?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Do you think there's a portal?
In the ocean. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it is extremely underexplored, so not much would surprise me about the ocean. Do I think that we live on, the crust of the pizza of the planet? For sure.
Yeah, we're definitely crust.
Do I think that there is more intelligent life forms on this planet? 100%.
They just don't have thumbs. Thumbs are what's giving us a lot of our power.
Thumbs gives us a lot of power to manipulate our environment, but there's probably other animals or sea life that has more command over their environment without thumbs. I think thumbs allow human beings to evolve and create and do so many things, and there are other mammals that don't have thumbs that might not be able to manipulate their environment so well. But I think the ocean is an entirely different environment. What good is a thumb when you can't even breathe underwater? You know what I mean?
Yesterday, I was on the subway.
Okay.
And I was standing because I had to. There were seats available, but I was wearing...
What, were they doing the national anthem?
No. I was standing because I was wearing knee-high boots, okay? Mm-hmm. And these boots were not made for walking. In fact, every time I would walk, they would fall down, and I was like...
Humiliating.
It was humiliating. Yeah. Like, I was walking around New York City like, oh, I just got off the bus, like, I'm here. It just was like a mess, you know? So I just stand because I had fashion tape holding them up. And if I had sat, the boots would have fallen down, right?
Okay, yeah.
You were just talking about mammals? Animals that are mammals? Mammals? Well, this woman was doing the New York Times crossword puzzle. Mm-hmm. Anyways, the clue was something mammals, maybe they're nocturnal mammals or something.
Were you reading over her shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She had her phone right here and I was standing and I looked down and I could read because I got 20/20. And that's just a fact.
You do that often? You look at people's phones while you're on the subway?
Well, if she was doing the crossword, yeah, I was.
Just to participate in the crossword?
I was just curious. Like,
what if she was texting and it was, like, really intense? Like, what if it was some personal
stuff?
Even
if she was texting and it really was intense and I read it over her shoulder, like... What am I going to do? I don't know this woman's name. I don't know who she's texting, and it wouldn't affect me at all, even if I read it. Like, it would not matter to my life unless she was like, I'm about to kill this girl in the knee-high boots behind me. That would be the only way it would affect me. So,
but even in that situation, you're reading her text message.
I wasn't reading her text.
But you see a clear text message that says, this beat brunette in knee-high boots.
It wouldn't have been me. Can't be me.
Okay, fine. No, I stick with it. This beat brunette.
Literally, we have the same face if I was a male or you were female. Like, we have the same face. So
don't bring my genetics to this. First of all, my genetics far superior. Far superior than yours. Far superior.
Actually, you have my genetics because...
Which just proves far superior.
No.
Not only do I have my genetics, which are superior, I also have yours, so any leg up you would have on me...
It looks like I'm visiting you on your last day with this fucking blanket on your lap.
I didn't want to go there to you, Rocky. I'll say things that will be unforgivable.
Okay, well then...
No, I can't.
Then don't.
I can't possibly.
And the fact that I'm making fun of you for having a blanket over your lap and you're like, your first instinct is to say something unforgivable to me.
That's because I feel like that's where you're crossing the line.
Oh, you do?
I'm comfortable. I don't even know if the viewers can tell I have a blanket under my legs.
Well, they know now.
If you saw someone writing, there's a woman, she is, how tall are you, 5'8"? There's a 5'8" woman.
I'm 5'4.5".
Jesus, Rock. I'm a 5'4.5" woman. Standing in knee-high boots, horrible odor. I'm going to punch her in the face. You saw that. Would you say something? I'm about to attack this woman.
No,
she's describing you perfectly.
Away.
You can't. It's a packed subway. You have nowhere to run. Are you going to say, hey, please don't hit me?
No, I would probably square up.
You would square up? Okay.
She looked like actually somebody who you maybe reside with in the home you live in. She was a very frail, older woman. And maybe she is good at fighting. But she wasn't texting anyone. And the point is...
So this is a classic Tyson Jake Paul situation. You versus
I'm not trying to fight this woman. You are dissatisfied with the Tyson Paul fight that you're trying to pin women against each other. All I did was glance down. I could see her New York Times crossword puzzle.
Violation. That's a violation.
It said something. Get a privacy screen, girl.
That's not on her. Why does she have to get a privacy screen?
Why do I have to? My eyes went down. I saw.
You saw, and then you continued to sip.
I read it quickly, and I could see that the clue was something mammals, and it was a 4-letter word, and I think it was like nocturnal mammals, and the first letter was B, and the last letter was S.
Bats.
Yeah, and she went past it. And I wanted to be like, girl, it's bats.
Why didn't you say something to her?
I didn't
Because you didn't want her to know you were reading her fucking crossword puzzle like a goddamn lunatic on the subway.
And also...
Rude. That's a rude thing to do. I would never do something like that.
Also... What's crazy is I'm making an assumption that this woman didn't know bats. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many languages. English might not even be this woman's first language, and she might be practicing doing the New York Times in English, but that's not even her first language. I have no idea why she didn't know the answer was bats, so I wasn't going to tell her.
Maybe she was also just skipping over it.
I've had a lot of encounters with bats. I have been in a pool as a young child, and a bat flew right in the pool.
Probably aiming for the portal.
It was aiming for the portal. I think I'm done with oceans, by the way.
You're done with the ocean?
I
Why?
think I'm done.
Have you ever frolicked in the ocean? It's the most fun. And the whole time you're like, oh God, I hope a shark doesn't eat me. But that's what makes it so much fun. And also think about all the animals you can't see that are surrounding you. I mean, the ocean, sure, it has its drawbacks. Sure, it potentially has a portal to space.
Yeah.
But it's still fun with your friends. Oh my God. I went to the ocean this summer, and the whole time I was like, I knew there were sharks. Somebody had gotten bitten recently.
What beach were you at?
The one down there.
The Rockaways?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had fun like kids, like it was our last day on Earth.
Might have been.
Could have been.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so special.
Yeah, I think I'm done. If I can't see, if it's not like a clear Caribbean beach, I think I'm done. Maybe I'll stick my toes in, but I it's too much wildlife in there, and I don't think they want us in there. Imagine you're taking a shower, you're hanging out, and then all of a sudden animals are in the shower with you. You're like, last I checked, I wasn't Cinderella, and last I checked, this isn't the way I want my life to go.
You think that...
Pissing in the ocean, you know humans are pissing in the ocean.
You think that when there are fish in the ocean, it's like they're taking a shower and we are intruding on their shower. Is that because they're wet?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I would have accepted the analogy if it was like, imagine sitting on your living room couch and then a bunch of animals start playing around you. But it was the shower for me that made it funny. To think that fish need to shower?
Constantly. In fact, a bit much if you ask me.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I'm done. I really do. I think I'm tapping out of the ocean.
All right, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I don't really think it'll change your life that much.
Maybe you'll catch me swimming.
And I can't wait till you're like on a friend's boat and then you're like diving off.
A boat is different.
A boat is different. When you're further out from the shore and it's more dangerous, it's different.
If you've been invited on a boat, like you don't want to be rude.
You can't bring your virtue into it.
No, virtue goes out the window when you get invited on a boat.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Virtue goes out the window.
You're in international waters. There is no law.
There's no law. It goes out the window. So I'm not going to act like, I'm too good. If you invite me on your boat, I'm diving in. And this conversation, that was a different version of me. My cells have regenerated. My cells have regenerated.
They definitely regenerated, yeah. When you come out like as a mermaid or something.
That's kind of the dream.
The dream is to be a mermaid? That sounds like a wretched life. You can't walk. You're stuck in the ocean. Being a mermaid is a wretched life. You can't walk. You're stuck in the ocean. You have to deal with your overbearing father, Poseidon.
Triton? I think he's the daddy of the ocean.
Don't call him the daddy of the ocean.
He's the daddy of the ocean.
Poseidon and Triton, I feel like, are one and the same. I feel like it's like saying like God and Allah, you know? But I don't know. And I don't want to upset ocean worshippers.
No, I definitely don't want to upset. Don't need them coming after me after I said pandemic.
Yeah, you've definitely upset the ocean community.
What are you going to do? You can't please every community. I've upset the ocean community. I've upset the non-pandemic community. I've upset the beta community.
I hate that you're calling it the non-pandemic community.
Well, there's two. There's people who think it's a pandemic and people who don't.
And then, which are you?
No, I was going to say there's a third.
Okay.
No comment.
Oh, and you're in the no comment camp?
I'm in the no comment camp.
Good for you.
Because who can we trust?
Who can we trust, right?
At the end of the day.
I got a Thanksgiving message.
Go ahead. End with your Thanksgiving message.
It's a little different. If you're going home to a place in which you're not celebrated, change up the vibe. Figure it the fuck out. Have those hard conversations that you don't want to have.
Yeah.
Cultivate the environment you want to be around. Be a bastion of change in your environment. Now, if you're feeling particularly unsafe, strap the hell up. Come ready to rock.
Now that's an American Thanksgiving.
Somebody might need to get a little chin check. Somebody might need a little, speaking of Tyson, Jake Paul, you might need to throw hands at your Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, you know what? They make me feel unsafe. I can't go home because my family makes me feel unsafe. Hey, guess what?
Guess what?
Start sending death threats in October.
Yeah.
Okay? Start planting the seeds. Hey, guess what? When I come home, it's on like Donkey Kong. You don't like my lifestyle? Hey, guess what? You're not going to have a life to style when I'm done with you. And then you come with a bunch of food and stuff. And, you kind of treat it like a duel, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm challenging you to a duel, but hopefully we'll both shoot at the ground, right? You might have to call somebody's bluff. You might have to bust a cap in somebody. Do what you have to do to have a happy Thanksgiving. But I don't think running from your Thanksgiving is the right answer. I say burn that motherfucker to the ground if you got to. And then you have something to talk about at Christmas.
Well, Skillz, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on the Thanksgiving episode. I'm grateful for you.
I am grateful for all the people out there that will choose violence for their Thanksgiving, okay? I want this to be very clear. If your Thanksgiving might be a little awkward, don't let it be awkward. Throw a plate of food in someone's face. Swing on them. Swing on them if you have to,
This is the opposite message of what I like to put out on my show. I just like to make that very clear. But everybody's different. Everybody is different. And that's what Thanksgiving is about. Coming together, having differences, and ending them by any means necessary. Stuff somebody in a turkey and stay wild.